Hello everybody, this is Mr. Rob and welcome back to another episode of the Delaware Blue Hens Dynasty here on EA Sports College Football 26, where today we're going to go through 2 weeks action, a bye week, and then our next matchup at the Virginia Cavaliers. So if you're excited for this one, make sure you drop a like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more Dynasty mode content here on the channel. Now, my original goal for the bye week was to kind of go through and see where we're at, recap the season thus far, and maybe take a look at recruiting. But after second thought, we've only played 4 games, so it's not like we need to take a look around the country, so to speak. And at the end of the day, we are a 0-star school, so it's not like we're going to be bringing in some really good recruits. We actually have no 3 stars currently on the radar. It's nothing but 2 stars and 1 stars because of our recruiting rules, where we can only recruit 2 ratings above our star. And since we're 0-star, we can recruit only up to 2 stars. So not really going to dive into recruiting. We'll save that for later in the season. But we'll go ahead and simulate the bye week, starting off with TCU Texas Tech facing this week, as well as the Red River rivalry coming up. And then we'll see Auburn beat Ole Miss in a big upset. The Tigers getting something going, while the Rebels fall 46-44 in overtime. And then we see Georgia lose to Louisville in another huge upset. Here's the other scores. Air Force wins the game against Navy 27-21. Syracuse beats their basketball rivals in UConn. San Jose State goes to Kennesaw State and wins 30-16. North Texas dominates Tulsa on the road. Texas, before the Red River rivalry, beats LSU in a shootout 53-51. A much-needed win for the Longhorns. Pitt gets an ACC victory over Virginia Tech to stay undefeated. Miami will knock off North Carolina 24-16. Buffalo also undefeated. They beat Akron. They're now 2-0 in the MAC Conference. Iowa State goes to Baylor and wins 34-21. Colorado, the big victory at home against their rivals in Utah. Washington goes to Purdue and wins by 8 points. A scare, but a nice win for the Huskies. Alabama dominates Arkansas. We see Memphis do the same against Florida Atlantic. New Mexico State wins the Rio Grande rivalry over New Mexico 21-13. Michigan beats Indiana 31-24 as the Wolverines try to salvage a season. Wake Forest on the road beats Georgia Tech. Auburn we saw beat Ole Miss. First loss of the season for the Rebels. South Florida puts up 52 on Temple. Liberty beats Coastal 44-41, while Louisiana will be UAB. Michigan State up to number 6 now. They beat Illinois by 2 in a pretty high-scoring affair. South Alabama on the road beats Georgia Southern. We see Georgia State get a nice victory over Southern Miss. That's a big win because the Eagles, after going to the playoff last year, practically have a 0% chance this year. Oregon beats Ohio State in the shoe, a big win for the Ducks. They're not dead yet as they win 38-23. Northwestern beats Iowa by a point. So we see Western Michigan beat Miami, Ohio. Florida over Vanderbilt 45-10. Central Michigan knocks off Toledo 30-12. And then SMU puts up 63 on Stanford. I swear the Cardinals are probably the worst Power 4 team in the country. Kansas knocks off Oklahoma State, also in the Big 12, UCF over BYU. Virginia takes their Cal. We'll see the Cavaliers this week. And then Texas Tech wins a close one over Houston. Tennessee goes to San Diego State and wins by 20. Southern Cal stays undefeated up to number 2. They beat Rutgers, then Hawaii over Northern Illinois. South Carolina on the road knocks off Kentucky. And then, of course, the game of the week, the Louisville Cardinals pass the test against Georgia 17-9, a big win for Louisville. Defending national champion Penn State Nittany Lions beat Minnesota as they get a victory in Big Ten play. Oklahoma, before the Red River rivalry, will beat Mississippi State, who had just entered the rankings. Clemson knocks off Florida State on the road. TCU does the same to Kansas State at home. Jacksonville State knocks off Missouri State, hands the Bears their first conference loss of the season. That's also the first win of the season for the Gamecocks. UCLA beats Wisconsin in a low-scoring affair. UNLV over Oregon State in what could be a Pac-12 audition for the Rebels. More on that later in the season. And then Cincinnati by a touchdown over Arizona. Your players of the week, Rushan Tung of Wake Forest had 2 picks in the victory against Georgia Tech, while Jalen Cooper had 9 for a $198 and 2 scores in the shootout against SMU. Conference USA players of the week are Ethan Tooks of Kennesaw State and Kyle McNeil of FIU. Here's looking at the rankings. Shake up because both number 1 and number 2 lost this week in Georgia and Ohio State, respectively. So Florida moves up to the number 1 spot. It's been a while since we've seen the Gators at the top, as they're followed by USC. And you can take a look at the rankings. Texas A&M and TCU entering on the back half. As far as your big games going into week number 6, Ohio State and USC is a huge one. Buckeyes look to bounce back from a loss, while the Trojans look to stay undefeated. The new number 1 Florida Gators will head to the desert to face Arizona State, Tennessee, and South Carolina. Big SEC-ranked matchup. And Oregon, trying to build some momentum, has to play host to number 4 Nebraska. We'll also get into the next game of our season as we hit on the road to face the 3-1 Virginia Cavaliers, our second Power 4 conference game of the season. We passed the test in the first one, obliterating Vanderbilt on the road, and honestly, I think we can do the same thing against Virginia. Yes, they are a Power 4 team, and yes, they are 3-1 in the ACC. But I think this is a wounded team. I don't think they're as good as their record shows, and especially fresh off a bye week, had time to prepare. I think we can beat the Cavaliers, so let's see if we can do just that. 2 3-1 teams head to Charlottesville, Virginia for week number 6 here in Cavalier country as they get to make their way to another big stadium. Second time this year we'll play what it's called our money games, and we'll see if we can go 2 for 2 as it's a packed house here for the Cavaliers. 3-1, fresh off a victory to begin ACC play against Cal, and they're looking to take a break and continue that momentum against the Delaware Blue Hens today, against teams and states that actually border each other. So 2 universities, other respective states, going at it here today. We'll see if the Blue Hens have what it takes to go 2 for 2 and upset another Power 4 team on the road. They will start off with the football as we are underway. This one kicked into the end zone where it will go through for a touchback. We'll see the Delaware offense take the field first, led by Blake Brown, who's done very good, I would say, as the quarterback this season. We'll see how he does here in Virginia's home turf. Starting off at the 25, they go with a handoff to St. Fleur. He gets a nice hole on the left side, and Saeed St. Fleur picks up a first down, gain of 12. Next play, they'll give it right back to him up the middle, and he's going to run into the arms of Cam Robinson, which if you watch the Gamecock Dynasty, you probably remember that name. Yes, he is the linebacker here at Virginia. 2nd and 10, Blake Brown outside the pocket, scrambles for a gain of 5. He looked right. He had a wide open Jake Burdell. Instead, it's now a 3rd down. Brown throws it short for Mikey Welch, and the San Diego State transfer will catch it and run for a first down, and Delaware's out to midfield. New set of downs, Brown lobs it short, and this one's dropped. Good coverage by Jamarick Morris, the soft senior corner. 2nd and 10, swing pass. This is McConomy getting some playing time as Delaware shuffling some things up here in this game. He gets a gain of 8 on the catch. Now 3rd and 2, and Brown will pick up the first down on the read option. This has been a pretty solid drive for Delaware, eating up some time into Virginia territory. Play fake here, first down. Brown hit as he throws that one incomplete. Mekhi Buchanan with the pressure. 2nd and 10 to the ground, and Virginia's ready for it. St. Fleur can't get around the edge, and this Cam Robinson again, the impact linebacker, who last year had 100 tackles, able to bring him down for a TFL. 3rd and 11, Brown drifts to his left. He's going to take off that way, stops, fires across the field, has a man open, but wasn't ready for it. That'll be incomplete, and Delaware will punt after all. So let's take a look at the Virginia offense led by senior quarterback M.J. Morris. Had a good game last week, 287 and 2 scores. But it hasn't been all fine and dandy for him, but they've won anyway. Only completed 56% of his passes this year. Play fake on first down. They dump it off to the halfback. That's Zylan Perry, the impact running back who they got in the transfer portal from this year from Louisiana. 2nd and 3, they give it to him for a carry, and he's marked half a yard shy. They come out in the goal line package, and Morris with the QB sneak will get the first down, and that will move the chains. Back to the gun. It's another play fake on first down. Morris with all day throws it down the seam, but this one's incomplete. And there's an injured Cavalier on the field. It's left tackle Ben York. 2nd and 10. Now they go back to the ground, and Perry, who gets a nice block on the outside with the true freshman Ari Cloud. That's a first down run. Perry last week 2 touchdowns on the ground against Cal. Off to a good start here today. 1st and 10, another first down throw. This one short, caught by the 4-star recruit Ari Cloud from Midlothian, Virginia. 2nd and 6 now, 4-man rush. This one at the sticks, caught by the tight end Wyatt Sullivan, who came over from South Florida this offseason in the transfer portal. He had 3 for 27 last week, gets his first one here today. Here's a handoff to Perry, tries to bounce it outside, but he won't get there, and Ari Cloud hurt on the play on the outside, so he'll come out of the game. A couple of injuries early on for the Cavaliers. No major ones, though, as here's a screen for Perry. And Worley will drag him down a yard shy of the marker Now another 3rd and short for the Cavaliers. Spreading out the defense here as they take the snap. Going to the air is Morris. Looks down the middle and he's got his man. It's Wyatt Sullivan who holds on through contact. And it's a goal-to-go chance here for the Cavaliers. 2 tight ends on that left side. They hand it off to Perry. Tries to cut back that way, but he won't get there. Nice job by Noah Matthews in the defense to drag him down. Now a touch pass on 2nd and goal, and that one also doesn't go anywhere. And it's quickly 3rd and goal from the 12. Morris looking to throw. Steps up. No pressure, and he just throws it. I think he was actually past the line of scrimmage, and the refs will agree with me as there's a flag down. And Virginia will get 3 on their first drive. So the Cavaliers do lead. Now Delaware back with the football at their own 37. On 1st down, a throw out to Burdell in the flat, and nobody's covering Jake Burdell. And the junior's out to the 38-yard line before he's tracked down for a nice gain. That puts Delaware in enemy territory after 27. 1st down now, a play fake. Brown to the air, looks down the middle, and he's got Thomas Amanquo. A beautiful pass over the head of Cameron Robinson, goes for a touchdown. And we head in the first quarter. Delaware up 7-3 after the big play shot works out. And they take a lead after a quarter. Browns look not as good as Morris, but the big play will help the stat sheet a little bit as Virginia begins the second quarter at about midfield. Hand off to Perry. Gets a beautiful block by right tackle Colton Wolf, and that'll spring him. As Perry, 6 carries, 32 yards, 15 on the ground there, his longest of the day. They go back to Perry on 1st down, and he's quickly hit by Scott before Gavin Mall finishes him off. Now a 3rd and 8. Blitz picked up as this one's lobbed left side, but he had a wide open man. But Morris missed him. There's that accuracy. That's become an issue a little bit for Morris, and now Virginia will try a 56-yard field goal try. This is the true freshman Mitch Yeager from right hash, and he will bury it down the middle. A big kick there by the freshman from Bluefield, Virginia. It's now 7-6. Delaware still in front, though. Their first drive here of the second quarter. A flag down as St. Fleur quickly smothered on the flat by Caleb Hardy. It's not going to count anyway. There's going to be a holding call. It's against the left guard, Colson. And Virginia, at the end of the day, they will accept the penalty. Now it's a 3rd and 12 for Delaware. As Brown takes the snap, looks to throw, and he throws it right side, and he's lucky that one is intercepted. Trey McDonald has hands all over it. So Delaware will punt it back to Virginia, who's now on 3rd down of their own, and they can't convert. Flat out drop there is Dexter Foster with the pressure. Next drive for Delaware, now 2nd and 5. He throws this one out of bounds, and Jack Small, the right tackle, hurt on the play for Delaware. Makes it now a 3rd and 5 for the Blue Hens. As Brown goes back to the air, steps up in the pocket, but he gets smothered. That is Maurice Cunningham, the redshirt freshman from Baltimore, Maryland, with the sack. They punt it away, and now on 3rd and 7 for Virginia, they almost get picked off. So both defenses really locking each other down here in the second quarter as we hit the 5-minute mark. And on 1st down here, look at St. Fleur. He's going to go backwards for a loss of 12. Josiah Persinger brings him down. Eventually, you got to just eat the loss. Now a 3rd and 20. Brown puts it on the ground. Then it's picked up by Virginia. Cunningham with a scoop and score, and the Cavaliers lead it. Trying to do too much on 3rd and 20 backfires, and the scoop and score for the redshirt freshman will put Virginia up 13-7 as the tides have turned. 2nd and 5. There's a nice 1st down for St. Fleur as the offense looks to try to get back on track after what's been a disastrous quarter. It's a 2-minute drill as well. 1st and 10 now for Brown. Rolls to his right. Just dumps it short for Amanka. That's a very dangerous pass. And he's lucky he only gets a yard. 2nd and 9, spreading out the defense as Delaware runs some clock. They try to hand it off to St. Fleur, who this time does get the edge. Looks like a player gave up on that play. And we'll take the 1st down. Inside a minute now at the 33-yard line. Handoff for McConomy, and he will gain 1. And Virginia will have to burn a timeout because Mekhi Buchanan is hurt on the play. 2nd and 9, Delaware will take the free timeout. This one across the middle. Somehow Amanquo catches that. Could have really got lit up on that play, but good hands. Now to the 20-yard line. Brown back to the air. And he looks across the middle for Burdell, and he can't hold on. Virginia's done a very good job in pass coverage today. 2nd and 10. Here comes a delayed blitz. They fire for the end zone, and Welch drops it. He had 6, but it went right through his hands. Instead, it's 3rd and 10 from the 20. Brown quickly enters some fire. He can't hit Burdell, and Delaware will kick the 3 A 37-yard try for the true freshman Eric Cassius. From it down the middle, the kick is up, and it is good. It squeaks through. And that'll take us to the end of the first half, where Virginia, thanks to the scoop and score defensive play, leads this one 13-10. Delaware's looked good today, but the one turnover has proved costly thus far, and Virginia's done a good job, I will say, defending the crossing patterns. Jamarick Morris has led the way for the Cavaliers, and they will see their offense first to begin the second half is, whoa, that was a shank. That kick will actually go out of bounds, so Virginia will start the second half with good field position at their own 42, thanks to the shank by Cassius. They'll start on the ground with Perry, who's quickly brought down by Dylan Worley. Nice play there, his second TFL on the day. Very minimal loss, though, as it's now 2nd and 10. A short pass, this one caught by Cloud, who's back in the game, and he picks up 4. Now a 3rd down for Virginia. They go 5 wide, looking for the deep ball down the right sideline, and it's incomplete. Good defense knocks it away. And Virginia will go 3 and outs, looking to punt it here. As this one's booted back to the right side, Welsh will miss it, and it will roll all the way to the 3-yard line. I think you could have caught that. Instead, Delaware's backed up close to their own end zone, so they'll run it with St. Fleur to get some space, and he will pick up 8. 11 carries, 39 yards today for St. Fleur, who's averaging over 130 per game. Here's a nice hole up the middle as St. Fleur gets out to the 27, and he's starting to get rolling. 12 for 55 now. Next play here, Brown will go to the screen pass. Here's Welsh, who catches that one and picks up 5, his 3rd grab of the afternoon. Welsh has been playing a lot of the right side as well. Him and Torrey have switched sides today, as here's Jake Burdell on 2nd down. And he picks up the 1st down, his 2nd grab for 37 yards. Next play at their own 41. It's a handoff to St. Fleur, and he's going to go down. Jamarick Morris, this time in run defense, rips up St. Fleur for a loss of 3. 2nd and 13. Amanqua can't hold on, and now Delaware's Carmine Lupi hurt on the play. He started at center for the first half of this season. He got flexed out to right tackle with Jack Small hurt, and now he's hurt. So we're facing our 3rd string right tackle on the right side, as that one's incomplete, and Delaware's drive quickly stalls. So still a 13-10 game. Virginia in the lead as here's a read option. MJ Morris fools the defense. Haven't seen this today, but he can run. There's a big one up the middle, and he's got Virginia at the 24. Goes back to the air here on 1st down. Short pass for Perry. Picks up 8, and now Tyler Lauletta, the center, who's starting for an injured center already for the Cavaliers, is hurt. So they're on their 3rd string center, is on 2nd and 2. Perry shedding a couple tackles, gets inside the 10. A good run for the redshirt senior. He's got 41 yards today. Goal to go now. Morris keeps it again, and again he fools the defense. Touchdown, Virginia, their first offensive touchdown of the day. And they now lead this one 20-10, doubling up Delaware's score. And now our offense has to get going. 6.5 here to go in the 3rd quarter. This one's short for Amanqua. And he will pick up the 1st down. The senior, 6 catches, 81 yards, and a touchdown today. At the 41 now, Brown on the air for 1st down. Has St. Fleur, but he airmails him. A wide open receiver, a halfback I should say. And Brown can't connect. We'll go back to the ground here on 2nd down. St. Fleur gets it up the middle, and he gets the 1st down as the holes continue to open up for the senior halfback. Next play, Brown goes back to the air, rolls to his left, doesn't throw it. Instead, we'll get a block, and he'll turn it up for a gain of 7. Makes it 2nd and 3. Here comes a big blitz. Brown just gets rid of his, caught by Torrey, who bounces off a tackle, and Torrey with a nice grab there, picks up a 1st down. Now to the 15 in the red zone. Brown to the air, across the middle. He's got Torrey again, and there's a touchdown for the Blue Hens, 20-17. Now your score as Torrey finds the end zone. We'll take it now to the next drive for Virginia. They face a 3rd and 5. And Morris will airmail his target. So we force a 3 and outs going into the 4th quarter. Exactly what you want to see. Delaware only down by 3, but they're quickly in it. So here's a look at how the top 25 is unfolded. A lot of undefeated teams still left in the country. We begin the 4th quarter, 2nd and 21 at the Virginia 38. As here's a pass that's caught for Amanqua for a gain of 7. Makes it a 3rd and 14. Brown to the air, steps up. He's going to run it himself. He has some space, and he picks up the 1st down with his legs. as Anthony Britton now hurt for the Cavaliers. Later in the drive, now 3rd and 6, motioning out the halfback. Brown looks short for Amanqua, who's 2 yards shy. And Delaware will bring out Eric Casillas, looking to tie this game. From the right hash, a 26-yarder, and it is no good! Casillas can't curve it enough, and Delaware still trails. That could be a huge miss in the late stages of this game. Virginia fully taking advantage. They're now into Delaware territory, as there's a beautiful juke move by Zylan Perry, who picks up a first down. Now the Cavaliers have entered the red zone at the 20 exactly. Inside 10 minutes, handoff. Nice spin by Perry, but he still loses 3 yards. Nothing else he really could have gone there, as Alexander Cobbs gets his second TFL of the game. He's also getting a chance this game, with our pass rush being kind of non-existent in the early going, as on 3rd down, Virginia picks up a first down. Full to go now here for the Cavaliers. They get down to the 5-yard line. This time they hand it off for Perry, and Gavin Mull, the captain, shoots the gap, brings him down back at the line of scrimmage. We'll try it again now, 2nd and goal. Back to the ground. Perry will be met by Worley. Now it's a 3rd and goal from the 3. A field goal could be huge here, forced. They motion the tight end to the right, hand it off to Perry, and he doesn't get it. Injured Delaware Blue Hen down, and on 4th and goal, Virginia's actually going to keep the offense on the field. This is a gamble here. 3 points puts you up by 6, but they want 6 right now, as that one's caught by Sullivan for a touchdown, and Virginia will make it a 2-score game late in this one, 27-17, as we've actually hit the 2-minute warning, and it's a 4th down for the Blue Hens. You got to convert here. They go to the ground with St. Fleur, who gets the first down, as that will at least move the chains, and Jack Small back in the game is hurt again. So the Blue Hens now with no timeouts. 2-minute drill incoming. Brown looks short. This one caught by Torrey. Picks up 5, but clock will continue to run. You got to hurry back to the line of scrimmage. Brown does get back to the line of scrimmage. We're on 2nd down. He's sacked. He fumbles, but this time it's picked up at the O-line. But a lot of receivers are going deep. This is going to eat some clock. Now a 3rd and 16, and Brown sacked again. 2 straight sacks for Maurice Cunningham, and all of a sudden it's a 4th and 21, and you have to go for it. Brown just lobs it up down the right sideline for Welsh, and it's incomplete. And that'll do it for this one. Virginia wins by a final score of 27-17. We just couldn't hold on and beat the Cavaliers, and this one stings a little bit because I really thought we had a chance to win this game. I thought we were going to catch Virginia overlooking us, and they think they were not the best team, but we didn't play our best football. The offense struggles, and we lose this one by 10. Also, I will say, if you notice in the comments section, or not the comments section, the description, I actually changed up the sliders for this one. We did not play on Heisman in this game. I actually played on Octagonal Gaming's All-American sliders, and I mean, I know a lot of y'all are from Octi's channel, and I wanted to give them a shot. And honestly, I thought they played pretty good. I honestly thought today played a lot better than the games I have in the past. Not saying that we can't win on Heisman, but I feel like this was just a little bit more organic in terms of the gameplay. So shout out to Octi for the slider and the videos that he has posted talking about his settings and stuff. I'm giving those a look, and why not? I mean, he is the king for a reason. But we lose this one. The offensive line struggled, and, well, we just could not come out on top. Other scores around the league, NC State beats Louisville, so a week after they beat Alabama, or Georgia, the Cardinals go down. TCU falls to Texas Tech behind Coy Eakin's great game for the Red Raiders. And then Oklahoma will face Texas A&M this week in a battle of top 25 teams. And then USC does beat Ohio State 42-39. They pass the test. Other scores, Louisiana will beat Fresno State on Wednesday, while on Thursday, Air Force gets their first Mountain West victory over New Mexico. Over to Saturday now, Georgia State blows out Kennesaw State, who we'll see this week. And then Toledo beats San Diego State. Texas wins the Red River rivalry over Oklahoma, 31-23. That shoots the Longhorns up to number 10 now in the rankings. Penn State knocks off Rutgers. And then SMU beats Syracuse in the ACC. Iowa State with another close victory. They beat Oklahoma State by 3. And Buffalo shuts out Ohio. And at 7-0, the Bulls have finally entered the top 25. Mississippi State beats their rivals Alabama. That'll put the Bulldogs back in the rankings after last week's loss. Indiana wins a close one in Seattle against Washington. And then Nevada will knock off San Jose State. They're also undefeated. NC State we saw beat Louisville. Rice knocks off Army. Charlotte also in the American will beat Tulane. Baylor over Houston on the road. While also in the Big 12, Colorado wins a close one against Cincinnati. Georgia puts up 59 on Missouri, so they were obviously not happy with last week's loss. They take it out on the Tigers. Boston College beats Georgia Tech. We're now 0-3 in ACC play. Northern Illinois over Wyoming. Navy beats UAB by 8. UCLA knocks off Illinois 27-19. They're now 4-0 in Big Ten play. Look out for the Bruins. Arkansas beats Vanderbilt. And then Clemson up to number 3 now with a victory over Virginia Tech. Pittsburgh also stays undefeated. They beat Memphis 38-27. FIU looks like the team to beat now in the Conference USA, knocking off Missouri State. That's 2 straight losses for the Bears. UMass gets a MAC victory over Central Michigan. Appalachian State over Louisiana Monroe. Duke wins a close one against the rivals in North Carolina, 27-24. And a week after beating Ohio State, Oregon cannot make it 2-2. They lose to Nebraska. Matt Rule has really turned around the Cornhuskers. Boise State gets their first Pac-12 victory over Utah State. First Pac-12 game for both teams. And then Southern Miss loses again. That's now 3 straight for the Eagles. Texas State also starts off Pac-12 play with a victory, and Colorado State, their Pac-12 debut, also gets spoiled. Tennessee knocks off South Carolina 41-33. South Alabama dominates Coastal Carolina by 3 scores. Wake Forest wins a close one against Cal. The Golden Bears just can't seem to close out conference games. And then Florida passes the test 56-7. What a dominant performance over the Sun Devils. UCF beats Kansas, and then Kentucky knocks off New Mexico State. East Carolina over North Texas. Michigan with a close victory over Iowa in a typical Hawkeye game. Texas A&M beats Ole Miss. The Rebels are free-falling. That's 2 straight SEC losses now, and they're out of the rankings. BYU beats their rivals in Utah by 8. Maryland knocks off Purdue. UNLV welcomes Mountain West play for UTEP 35-28. Notre Dame dominates Stanford to nobody's surprise. Kansas State over Arizona. The game of the week was the last one, and it was a thriller. The Trojans beat the Buckeyes 42-39. Your players of the week, we see DJ Warner of Tulsa get 2 interceptions, and Kyle McNeil again of FIU. And honestly, the Golden Panthers, they sweep Conference USA Players of the Week with Shamir Starlin getting it on defense. Here's a look at the new rankings. Not much at the top other than Louisville dropping from 5 to 13. I still think they should be ahead of Georgia because they beat Georgia. But nonetheless, they will drop. And they're going to be all right in the long haul as Boise State moves up. And a couple of new teams, LSU, USF, Mississippi State, and Buffalo, all enter the top 25. Your big games this week, LSU, Georgia, that's going to be a huge one. Also in the SEC, Texas A&M and Oklahoma, while in the Big Ten, Penn State, Michigan is a big game. And then Michigan State will face UCLA. That is a sleeper of a good game, as the 2 best conferences in football have a big week ahead. As far as us, we'll return to Conference USA play next week for the remainder of the season, as we'll head on the road to face the Kennesaw State Owls. Because remember, we are playing 9 conference games this year. We're playing every other conference team. And honestly, I think we should be pretty good for conference play. Even though we're 3-2, I think we are one of the top teams in this conference thus far. And I would love to start this run with a victory on the road against the Owls. I think we are by far and away the better team. They're dealing with some injuries, and I think we should be able to take advantage and win this one with relative ease. But we'll find all that in the next episode. Let me know in the comment section below, did you like the gameplay today? Or do you think we should stick with this or go back up to Heisman? If you enjoyed, make sure you drop that like and you subscribe down below, especially if you want more Dynasty Mode content. This is Mr. Rob, and I'll see you in the next one.